Nina had a gut feeling she couldn't shake. Eric had started coming home late, showering twice a day, smiling too easily. She asked questions. He gave vague answers. So she stopped asking and started recording. She bought a tiny camera, disguised it between two hardcovers. Just a bookshelf in the corner. Just a woman trusting her instincts. It wasn't paranoia. It was intuition. And Nina had learned the hard way. Intuition rarely lies. She pressed record and waited. 1 week. No confrontation. Just silence. Because the truth always walks in when no one's watching. Day 7. Nina opened the file. And there it was. Eric. Unlocking the door with her key. Not alone. A woman walked in behind him, laughing, touching everything. She poured Nina's wine. Sat on Nina's couch. Eric kissed her like he meant it. Like Nina didn't exist. They watched Netflix on her profile. Slept in her sheets. Nina's face didn't move. Her heart did. It wasn't just betrayal. It was trespassing through her life. She watched the whole thing. Every hour. Every lie. And then she hit pause and planned her next move. She didn't throw a glass or scream at him. She uploaded the footage to a private video link, then found the woman, Chloe, tagged in his old photos hidden in plain sight. She wrote one line. No insults. No drama. Just, I thought you deserved to know whose bed you were really in. She sent a message. Blocked both of them. No need for follow-ups. The truth was enough. This wasn't revenge. It was revelation. And Nina didn't need to burn the bridge. She just turned the lights on while they were standing on it. 2 days later, Eric came home to silence. Nina was gone. Her things, her scent, her warmth gone too. No note. No confrontation. Just absence. He called her name like she still owed him something. But the only thing left in the apartment was echo. He opened drawers, checked closets, found nothing but space. She had erased herself with the same precision she installed the camera. He texted, called, even emailed. Nothing delivered. Because Nina wasn't hiding. She was finished. And Eric? He was exactly where he deserved to be, alone in someone else's lie. Nina spent the next week in a tiny Airbnb across town. No decor, new enough hole, no memories, just Wi-Fi and peace. She logged into her accounts, changed every password. She removed him from the Netflix plan, the grocery app, the utilities. Digitally deleting him was easier than she thought. She replayed the video only once more to remind herself it happened. Then deleted it too. She didn't need it anymore. She hadn't just left him. She had exited the performance. No more pretending. No more pieces to pick up. Just clean walls, clean air, and a clean start. By week's end, she was shopping for new sheets. Not because she needed them, but because she deserved a bed untouched by betrayal. She chose soft gray linens, firm pillows, a comforter that matched nothing they ever owned. Her cart filled slowly, each item a declaration of independence. No memory foam, no shared pics, only her preferences now. She didn't cry in the aisles. She smiled quietly. Because this wasn't about losing a boyfriend. It was about shedding the version of herself who tolerated suspicion. And the woman she was becoming? She trusted her gut and followed it all the way out. That was something worth making the bed for. Eric sat in his car outside Nina's old apartment, staring at her dark window. He had tried everything, calls, emails, even messaging her coworkers. But she'd vanished like smoke and left behind nothing to cling to. Worse, Chloe had gone silent too. After Nina's message, she blocked him. He tried to explain. It's not what it looked like. But it was. Every lie collapsed in on itself, too fast to stop. Now all he had were screenshots, a broken routine, and an empty keychain. He thought Nina would scream, thought she'd cry. Instead, she disappeared. That was the part he couldn't stop thinking about. She had the final word without saying anything at all. Across town, Nina started working remotely from a new cafe downtown. Fresh start, fresh space, fresh espresso. No Eric. Her focus returned like a tide. Steadier, stronger, undistracted. She updated her resume, sent a few bold applications. Work became easier when she wasn't second-guessing every text notification. She smiled as emails rolled in. Interviews, interest, offers. Turns out, when you clear the noise, opportunity hears you better. She didn't brag about what she'd left behind. She just built forward, quietly, steadily, brilliantly. And with every line she typed, she rewrote the story Eric tried to define. One afternoon, Nina walked through the city like it was hers. Not rushing, not running, just moving, free. The guilt was gone. The questions had stopped. She had seen the truth, shared it, released it. Some people scream to feel powerful. Nina just walked away. Eric may never understand how much she trusted him. But now, she trusted herself more. And that trust? It would never be misplaced again. She didn't need to announce her strength. She simply lived it, one steady step at a time. Nina signed a lease for her new place exactly 30 days after walking away. Bright walls, open windows, no history. The leasing agent handed her the keys and said, "Fresh start?" She smiled. Something like that. She walked through each room with quiet joy. Her space, her rules. No more walking on eggshells. No more second bed sheets. She didn't rush to decorate. She didn't need perfection. She just needed peace. And 4 walls that hadn't been shared in betrayal. Her name was on the lease. Her name alone. And that name, it had never sounded stronger. That weekend, Nina found stillness on a yoga mat she hadn't unrolled in months. No phone buzzing. No shadows in her mind. Just breath. Just space. Just her. She let her chest rise, then fall, feeling the calm settle in. This was her healing. Not dramatic, not loud. Just the quiet decision to put herself first again. Every inhale was a goodbye to the girl who waited for answers. Every exhale, a hello to the woman who acted when truth arrived. She hadn't won anything back, because she never owed anyone closure. She simply chose herself. And that was enough. Nina unpacked slowly, letting the space become hers one photo at a time. Pictures of her with friends. A beach trip. A solo hike. No couples shots. No shared memories she'd regret later. Just evidence of life. Hers alone. Still worth framing. She wasn't trying to erase the past. Just refusing to live in it. Her apartment felt warmer with every item she placed. No more secrets. No more surveillance. No more pretending. She had trusted her gut, and it saved her. Now she trusted her future even more. Because the next chapter wouldn't be filmed. It would be lived. Nina's freelance work turned into something bigger. Something real. One client became 3. 3 became 12. By spring, she was leading brand strategy workshops for small businesses. She stood in front of teams with clarity, confidence, calm. People asked her how she stayed so composed. She smiled and said, "Because I've seen what chaos looks like. Every meeting, every pitch." She showed up fully present. No distractions. No fear of betrayal waiting back home. Her life was no longer split between suspicion and silence. She wasn't just building a business. She was building herself. One evening, her phone buzzed with a message from an unknown number. It was Chloe, the woman from the footage. Just one line. I didn't know. I'm sorry. Thank you for telling me. Yeah. Nina stared at the screen, then placed the phone face down. She didn't feel anger. She didn't feel pity. Just a strange, quiet release. They were both lied to, used, misled. But unlike Eric, Chloe had chosen honesty, eventually. Nina thought of replying, then didn't. Some apologies don't need answers, just acknowledgement. A week later, Nina stood outside with an envelope in her hand. Inside, the last item tied to Eric, an old shared insurance policy. She debated shredding it, burning it, letting it sit. Instead, she mailed it back with a post-it note inside. No insults, no threats, just 2 words, handled. Goodbye. She dropped it into the box and exhaled. It wasn't revenge. It wasn't closure. It was her final act of release. No need to carry what wasn't hers anymore. She walked away lighter, and this time, nothing followed her. Nina's mornings were hers again. No waiting on texts. No glancing at the door wondering. Just steam rising from her mug, and peace rising inside her. She had traded suspicion for silence, and silence had been kind. She didn't wake up to lies anymore. She woke up to light, warmth, and the sound of her own breath. It was simple. It was ordinary, but it was also everything she once begged for. And now, it belonged only to her. Because her mornings didn't start with him. They started with choice. Over lunch, her friends asked if she ever heard from Eric again. She laughed, light, easy. No. And I don't need to. Yeah. They raised their glasses. To growth. To instincts. To not going back. Nina didn't tell the story for sympathy anymore. She told it with purpose. For every woman who doubted her gut and stayed too long. Her story didn't end in heartbreak. It evolved into laughter, connection, community. There were no villains at that table, just survivors. And Nina? She didn't just survive betrayal. She translated it into something bigger than revenge, wisdom. One evening, Nina walked past her old apartment. The curtains were different. The mailbox was full. Someone else lived there now. She didn't stop, didn't slow down. She just smiled and kept walking. It was never about erasing the past. It was about outgrowing it. She didn't need closure from Eric. She gave it to herself. She trusted her gut. She acted with grace. And she left with her dignity intact, her peace protected. Some women leave quietly, but leave everything behind in flames. Nina didn't need fire. She was already the spark.